Hello, everyone, and welcome to Burnlong's 10 at 10. I'm Alex Bielenson. These short interviews with HR and business leaders are aimed to help you and your teams innovate and discover new approaches to your most common pain points. We throw in a few fun questions, too. Our guest for today is Jim Ries from Offit Kurman. Offit Kurman is one of the fastest growing full service law firms in the United States. With offices in 8 states and the District of Columbia, Offit Kurman is well positioned to meet the legal needs of dynamic businesses and the individuals who own and operate them. As Director of Business Development there, Jim Ries drives revenue growth for Offit Kurman by helping business leaders and families of wealth address some of their most difficult challenges. Jim has access to a deep network of over 250 attorneys, and he is able to connect his clients to the right attorney who can resolve their legal dispute and protect their assets. Jim is a master networker, and a high-level connections call for him solutions when they don't know who to call. So let's dive into the conversation so you can hear really how his firm is approaching hybrid work, why Jim is focusing on his mental, physical, and emotional health, and what Offit Kurman is doing well in their employee communications. Just a heads up, this one is only an audio, but we can't wait to share Jim's insights. Thanks. Well, thanks again for being with us today, Jim. We're really excited to have you. And I guess, the first question I want to start with is how does your company support family life? In regard to benefits, activities, what does it look like in that sort of way?
Well, I would say that Offit Kurman has a very flexible policy as it relates to where people work from. Attorneys specifically have options of working remotely or working from one of our 18 offices. And then the staff has similar flexibility. What we do try to plan is that if there are certain attorneys that are going to be working from offices on a fairly regular basis, we want to make sure that they have enough staff there to support them while they're there.
Sure. No, that makes total sense. And do those benefits there support, families and kind of dependents in that way?
Well, I would say so, because anytime you're offering flexibility to an employee, I would say there's a trickle down theory where it certainly trickles down to benefits for the family.
Well, I guess leading into the next question, which is, what is your reason for trying to stay healthy and well? I talk to a lot of people. It's, either family, they may have a child, they're walking down the aisle, a big hike coming up. What's the reason for you behind, staying healthy?
Well, that's a great question, and it happens to be very relevant for me because I would say at the start of the pandemic, I became very cognizant of my age and thereby trying to stay fit as I get older. And I read a lot of articles, I've read some books, and it occurred to me that there are 3 specific things that I need and we all need to be cognizant of and aware of as we age. And one category, the obvious one, is physical and mental health.
Sure.
That gets more and more important as we get older. That certainly includes nutrition, for example.
Right.
Nutrition, fitness, etc. And then I would say the second category is financial health. As we get older, we're thinking more about retirement, and it's really important to plan for retirement and make sure that you've got the financial support that you need to retire at whatever age you're targeting. And then the third area, which was a surprise to me, but makes perfect sense, is the importance of having lots of social contact as you get older. Because I think as people get older, and I saw it with my parents, and I've seen it with aging adults, they lose friends and they lose that social contact, which is so very important. So I've really been thinking about those three particular areas a lot and trying to mold my life around that so that I have physical and mental health, financial health, and social contact.
I love that. I think that's so important. And I think, like you were talking about with the social, interaction, we saw that during the pandemic. I actually worked at an elderly nursing home for a little while, and I just saw with people of that age during the pandemic, they lost that interaction, those social abilities, and that's really hard. I think that's wonderful. And I guess I have to ask, what kind of workouts do you like to do? Are you more of cardio, strength, HIIT workouts? Like, what do you enjoy?
Well, I think cardio and strength are both, and stretching, especially as you get older, those three components are really important. So every morning I do a stretch, every morning I do a walk, and every other morning I do a workout with weights. And it's all from the comfort of my basement. So I don't have to really get up and go anywhere except for the walk, which is outside. We usually walk in the morning, and then after dinner, I find a nice brisk walk after dinner is really good. It feels good. I think it helps the digestion process. It's just good to get fresh air.
Well, that kind of, leads me to the next question, which is, what do you see as your biggest hurdle to reaching every single one of your employees and their dependents with the benefits they need?
Well, to be clear, the employees, they don't report to me, but I will tell you that our firm, our HR department, and the folks that manage the benefits from that department do a fantastic job with outreach to the employees. Every month, there's an email that goes out to all of the employees about our benefit plans and about health information and fitness information and benefit plan updates and you name it. So very educational, really good information that goes out to all the employees.
That's terrific. And I know they don't report directly to you, but are you hearing that benefits are, a big incentive these days? I've kind of heard that benefits are kind of getting bigger and bigger with a lot of companies. Do you find that as being true?
Look, probably the number one issue with employers is recruiting and retention of quality employees. So one way to recruit and to retain them is to offer good benefits. So I think it's very competitive out there for companies to come up with solid benefits that maybe their competition is not offering. I will add that I talk to business owners all the time, and I know they're constantly looking for benefits that maybe don't cost the employer any or at least a lot of money. So something that's low cost or no cost to the employer those are very popular benefits to try to find for their employees, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. People have gotten very creative with their benefits offerings.
Yes, I think you're exactly right on that. Well, kind of a fun question to end it up, Jim, which is, what was your first car?
Oh, how could I forget? I had an ugly green car called a Maverick. You're too young to know what a Maverick is. I don't even know who made it, maybe Ford. It was an ugly car. My brother and I bought it together. I guess we each chipped in maybe a couple $100 and we shared it. And we probably put more money into the stereo system, which was really important back in the day, than the car itself. So we wanted to make sure we had a really good sound system in the car. But it was called a Maverick. They don't make it anymore. And again, I think it could have been a Ford. It was a very plain car, nothing fancy, but it got us from point A to point B. Great question.
Well, Jim, I really appreciate you joining us today. And you had some, great answers to these questions. And I just loved hearing about your wellness and, facts that physical, mental, financial, and then social. I think those are so important to hear, and I just think you hit the nail on the head with those. So I really appreciate you coming on and speaking with us today.
My pleasure, and thanks so much. It's a topic that's meaningful and relevant to me these days.